Everyone, welcome back to Python tutorials by Code Warriors. So we are at the last of the basic, or you can say somewhat intermediate Python. If you go to advanced, there's lots of stuff. There's lots of library. You need to work with the libraries. You need to work with like NumPy, Pandas. There are lots of libraries. You need to understand their concept, understand their logic basically. What are their syntax means is. But the basic stuff about the Python, the core thing about the Python, we are at the end of it almost. And in that, today we are going to talk about modules. Really the really important stuff in the Python. Because what module does is this makes the program uh, a little less complicated. You know, you don't see all stuff in just one script over there. Everything is like organized in a certain way. That's what module does. So basically, what module does is like divide your program into different files, and you import those files inside of your program. Okay, like you created some kind of a file somewhere with the extension of .py, and you imported that file inside of your program. So whatever the functions, whatever the variables you used in that file will be called inside of this file, and so that you don't have to write all that program over here. You have created some stuff, some different program over there, and you just call that program over here. It's like creating a function. You create a function out of the program and you call it again and again in different places. Same way, you create a file and you call that file in different files again and again. That's called importing. And those stuffs are modules. Those sections that we have created, those are modules. So let's see in the library. Let's do an experiment on it. Let's see. But if you see, if you are from different language background, you would have seen there are lots of in different languages. We call different kinds of libraries. Like in Java, we have import java.io, import java.lang, and then if we talk about C++, and there are like stdout, sorry, stdio, or in C++, IOStream is there. So there are lots of libraries. The same way, Python also uses libraries. There are lots of libraries, inbuilt libraries in the Python like NumPy, Pandas. But today we'll learn how to create our own library, our own module, which we are gonna call it inside of our Python program. Okay, so let's get onto this spider ID and see how we can do it all. Okay, so here we are. So to create first to create a file, we have talked about like if you want to create a module, that file has to be an extension .py, and that file contains some kind of instructions that needs to be called in the main program. So let's create. If you have seen our previous videos, we were working on, like in past 2-3 videos we were working on that square array parameter concept, right? We were using it in OOPs basically. We will apply it over here too. We will create a we'll create a program, a module which will find the area of any square. Okay, so let's create a function def area, and it will first, let me zoom it so that you can see it properly. Def area, and we pass in one parameter because only one, we need one thing, site, and then we say return. Okay, and s square, that's the area of square. And then again we create one more def perimeter, and we parameter also need one only, then return 4 into s. Now that's for the area and that's for the parameter. We have created two functions inside of our uh, module, and let's save it this file with the name square.py. Okay, so we have created a file named square.py. Okay, where we are storing it, modules. Okay, this is just, I created a directory, a folder right now, modules, just for this tutorial only. It can be any folder, you can save it. Just remember each in spider. Okay, let me save it and show you. It should be inside of your working directory, because when you save it, it should show here in the files. I don't know why it is not showing. Maybe it is going to take some time. Let me check my folder. Modules, where is it? Okay, here it is. Okay, it is there. Why it is not showing here? Okay, there must be some kind of a glitch over here. It is not showing, but we can check it out. Okay, we have created this module file over here, right? Okay, wait a minute. uh, we've created this module file over here. So if we uh, create one more file, let's say this is our main program over here, okay, and we wanna import that file, this file we wanna import it inside of our main program. So the simple command is import and file name square. So what it did, it imported whatever is inside the square, and square should be with where the our main program is, or it should be with the at the point of the working directory. This is our working directory. If the file is present over here, it will be executed. Okay, what it does basically is it should not be with the program. It is not necessary. The basic steps of Python to be checking for the modules are: first it checks in the working directory, and then it goes to the Python path that we that is in inbuilt Python path where all the modules are present inside the Python. Then it goes over there. So if it is in the working directory, it will directly get it. If it is not in the working directory, in the main module files where all the modules are present, then it will look, after that it will look over that place. So it is in our working directory right now. I don't know, because of some reason it is not showing over here, but it is present. Let's check it out. Okay, if I run it, import square, and you see it runs perfectly fine over here. Zoom it too. Okay, now we have created this function over here, def area. Okay, now we want to use this function inside of it. Like, I've imported a square. Now I want to find the area of some square. I have, like, suppose we have very small kids, and we have got this inbuilt module inside of our programming language, special programming language, and this is our small software where we can find the area of a square. Okay, so what we did, we write print, and as it is inside square, so we write square dot, then the method or the function what we are using, area, and area is accepting one parameter s. So we are going to pass this parameter over here, like suppose 10. And now if we run this line, you see here output is 100 over here. What it did, we have imported this file. So indirectly what happens basically is all this program is copied in this place. By using import square, what we did, we copied all that program into this place. So now either we can write it in a different file, or we can use it here with a import square. This is like a, we've given a tag name that whenever I use square.area, this is gonna consult with the import square module, and it will go there, and whatever written over there, it will work with that. So this is importing a module inside of our main program. Now this feature is this very small concept. I've explained in a very small way. Okay, this concept is basically used when you're working with your team, and everyone is when big projects are, when we do big projects, not one person is creating a whole program. Different, all they're like 3 to 4 people are making this program. So what they do, they divide the program. Okay, one person is creating some module, other person is creating some module, one person is working on the main program, and what they did, they all, whatever they are created, they just call their modules inside of the main program, and it all works perfectly fine. You don't have to just write everything inside of the main program. It becomes real hodgepodge kind of stuff. Okay, you get confused, you get like what's happening, where this is, where that is. Now I want to know, like, I've created this program. Okay, here I want to know what square is. I will just go to the square.py file and see, okay, this is a square. Okay, sometimes when they create a module, they create its documentation too, so that you can understand it, but that's some high level stuff. Okay, so this is, we have imported. Now if we want to do it, print even for the parameter also, square dot perimeter, and we can pass out any value like 30, and if we run it, it is 120. 30 into 4, 120. Okay, so output is 120. We've got it over here. Okay, sorry. Now what if we don't want parameter over here, right? We have called parameter, but we don't want that much of the file to be like, when you create, this is a very small file, but when you create modules, they are very big files. Okay, there are lots of files inside of lots of functions inside of lots of methods inside of the uh, yeah, modules. You don't want all that modules to be imported. You just want one specific function inside of that module to be imported. So for that, there is this another feature, another command like from square import. So you can see this is the English stuff only. Okay, it is saying from square import this, like from this import this. So what did I did? From square import area. Now from this square file I have imported only area feature, area function over here. Okay, so now when I run it, F9, and if I say now if I say print area dot area and 20, okay, F9, and it worked perfectly fine. It gives me the output of 400. Now you see here, when we are just importing square, we are using square dot area, and we are telling which method to be called from the square library. We are giving it completely square dot area. But here we have already told him from square import area. So now area is imported. Nothing else is imported, only area is imported. So we can use it directly, print area 20. We don't have to use any other thing. Same way we can do for print parameter and 10. Okay, some mistake over here. Name perimeter is not defined. Ah, okay, yes, sure. You see, we've called area over here, right? We haven't called parameter. We've called only area. So when we call parameter, it says, I don't know what parameter is. It is not defined over here. Okay. So when we were calling it, we were calling only area, the parameter did not called inside of the program, and we couldn't use it. So this is like, you want to create you want to run you want to decrease the interpreting time of your program so that it interprets fast and gives the result fast. So program does not so if program is running all those methods and function and finding your function that you have called, it takes some time, maybe in a second, maybe milliseconds, but it takes time. Okay, and when you just give it only area method I want, so only area is imported, nothing else is imported. So only one, when there's only one function that is imported, so it has to go through only one function, and it will get the output fast, and it will take less storage. Okay, now you can do also one thing. When you have imported a area, you can say area as a. What we did, we renamed that module, we renamed that method, which function which we called. Now we don't have to write area everywhere, we can use a only, and if we run these both lines, it works exactly fine. Same way you can do for import a square as sq. Now square becomes sq, you have changed the name of the module for that program only. Now if you remove all these lines and run it, they work perfectly fine. Okay, so this is little bit of importing and changing the name. Now you can also do we have created functions, but not only functions work. You can also create a list. Let's say list 1 equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5, or you can create a dictionary like dict1 equals to, and dictionary goes with the curly braces, and you can create key like let's say mav, and its age, let's say 21 comma, again let's say yes, and again okay, we can give like 26, and okay, this much only. Okay, now if I save this file, we don't have to run it, all have to do is save it. Now I've saved this file. Okay, I've created two variables over here, list1 dict1. Now if I want to use it, all I have to say Again, same thing like from square as sq. uh, Print, I can say square dot list 1, and I can give any index like let's say 3. Now let's see what happens. It gives me the 4 over here. Now if we see over here, at the fourth index we have, at the third index we have 4 over here present, and that's what it gives me the output. We have, so we see how we have transferred the even the variables also, not just the functions. We call, so the variables, we can transfer the whole class, we can transfer the variables, you can transfer, it's like we've transferred the whole program over there. Now you don't have to do anything, you've transferred the whole program, whatever written over there. Okay, this is the beauty of modules. Same way you can do for the dictionary also. Print square dot dict, and um, what was the name, math. Okay, we pass in the key. Now we see it. Okay, square is not, sorry, it was dict 1. Okay, and you see it says 21, it gives me the age of math over here. So we can pass any variables, we can pass anything from a module to your main program by using just import. And we can not just this, we can also import, like we have used here from square import area. We can say from square import dict1, and then only dictionary variable is imported inside of the main program, nothing else. Now if you run this uh, area 20, okay, because we have already imported somewhere. If we restart our kernel over here, let me show you. Okay, it is restarting the kernel. Kernel restarting basically means is like whatever the commands we have already run, it will just make them nullified. Okay, so you can start again from the beginning. So now if we import this from square import dict, and now if we try to print area method over there, it will say area is not defined, as I told you, because we have called only dict 1, that is our dictionary. That's it. So now there are one basic command, that is print okay, a dir, and you know, your module name. Now this dir command, what it does, it tells you all the methods and libraries inside of, all the methods and functions and variables and everything inside of that program that can be called. So if I run it, wait a minute, name square is not defined. Why I have imported square? Okay, I haven't imported square. Okay, you see here, I haven't imported the square earlier. I have imported the dict1 from square. That's why it was not accepting square. But now if I run it, okay, now there's some kind of an error. Okay, wait, let me see. Let me run these. Okay, my library is not getting imported right now. Some kind of error is happening over here. Working directory set, and it is still not accepting it. Okay, because I'm taking. Okay, yeah, I'm being this you can say stupid. Okay, I have importing a square as sq over here. That's why, and I was giving it a square over here. I have to give it sq, or I have to remove sq from over here. Okay, so I will remove sq from over here and put squarv over here. Let's first run it. Okay, import square, and now you see here it gives me all the files, all the methods and libraries are the. Now whatever you see these special methods with the underscore underscore, now these are special methods, these are inbuilt methods contained inside of every module that you create, every file that you create. Don't bother about them. Okay, when you will study deep about the modules, you will understand what are these, what are they. Everyone has their own specific roles. instead of it. But these four here in the last, you see, these are what we have created: area, tick one, list one, and perimeter. So that's how you can find out the modules inside of a, like if we say, if we call one inbuilt module, which is import numpy. It is a very famous module of Python. If I call it, and now I do dir numpy. Now these are all the methods that can be called from numpy module. You see here, these are lots of methods are there. I mean, you can't even scroll that much of methods over there. Okay, see, these are the methods that can be called from numpy library. That's a big library. There's a big module over there. So this is the role of dir, and this is, I think, all of it inside of about a module. And we have talked a lot about like how to import a module, how to rename the module. Then we have talked about how to import a specific method or a variable from a module. And we have also, well, talked about a function, this command that we can, keyword that we can use to find out what kind of methods and a functions are present inside of a module. Okay, so this is it inside of a module. Practice it, create some kind of a small programs, practice with it. Okay, see what are the things that you can transfer into your main program, what are the things that you can. Okay, try it with a oops concept by creating a class and transferring the class. If you don't get it, put in the comment section, I will help you. Or if lots of people get that same help, I will create a separate video with the help of creating this module with the help of a class. Okay, it's not a big stuff, it's a basic stuff, passing a class inside of a module. Just remember, you need to have an object also, because class works with an object. Object is like an instance of a class. It's not like it's an instance of a class. So remember that, use this concept and work on it, see if you can get success. Okay, so we will finish this over here. See you in the next video.